That's shady behavior. Like, good on you.
I mean, I can't lie though. I thought about removing it. I thought about literally delete because, I mean...
You got a few messages, didn't you?
Oh! Did you see my story? Did you see everything?
I was one of them.
Yeah, you were one of them actually, Alex.
What did you say, Alex? What did you say?
I think I said something along the lines of, how's that feast going?
Yep.
Oh, man. All right, well, obviously we are speaking about Arsenal beating Manchester United yesterday at Old Trafford 1-0 thanks to a header from Calafiore. KlintonCod, a lot to speak about here. Some good, some bad, but that story was not helpful for you.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't. Right, where do I start from now? Okay, so first of all, I feel very proud of Manchester United. That was a very brilliant performance. You know, I don't think it was a loss. I think if there's any team that lost yesterday, it was Arsenal.
Just that, 3 points.
I mean, it's just that the scoreline wasn't reflecting it.
Can you put that in the table? 0 points, but asterisk. Proud of
listen,
the boys.
no. If I was in charge of, if I was one of the persons that write all these stuffs on the website, on the tables, I would literally do it. What would happen? I would lose my job. That's the worst thing. But the points goes. They're not going to delete it. But anyways, coming back to the story about Manchester United. Yesterday was the first time I've seen them looking that solid as a team, especially facing an Arsenal, whom finished second last season. Arsenal, they've not been very bad, but yesterday, Manchester United made them look bad, right? The goal they scored was the most useless goal I've ever seen, and there's one law or one rule I believe they should bring in football as soon as possible. When it's time to take corners or any kind of set pieces, that means that people have to go fight with the goalkeeper on that line. The rule should be no opposition player should be on that line with the goalkeeper.
I mean, when the goalkeeper's already slapped it into his own net, I don't really think there's much to do.
But when you look at that goal...
Pioneer had an absolute horrific game yesterday.
But look at that goal, though. Yeah, you could clearly see he was very uncomfortable on that goal line. Like...
The ball went past his fingers, and he flicked it back. Whether Calafiore was going to be there and head it in or not, that ball was going in. Thanks to your keeper. So you could take away the rule, but I know what you're trying to say, but the thing is, I think the concern here more is Bayindir was very poor yesterday. And a lot of Manchester United players did have a good game, but you guys need a keeper. And it's not Onana, and it's not Bayindir.
No, facts. Listen, those two, they are not good enough to be the first team goalkeepers for Manchester United, facts. And that's one of the reasons why I've been praying for Donnarumma, yeah? To literally come to Manchester United because he's the one good available goalkeeper right now that United could sign. And it's not even that expensive either. I mean, how much are they putting him out for? I forget about the salary, whatever he's expecting. But, there are so many players in United that are not playing up to what we've seen with Donnarumma currently who are receiving, bro, get this young man. Onana is... the one thing we need in United right now as I speak is literally a goalkeeper. We have every other thing. And when you see the way they played yesterday, there was no Arsenal. Arsenal couldn't play football. Where was Bukayo Saka? Fabrizio is going to be tweeting very soon because they've been looking for that young man. They said he's still in Diogo Dalot's pocket. They only just found him this morning. They even had to switch a whole wing. Everybody knows that Bukayo Saka is always been the right winger. Somehow, Madueke comes in, they switch him over because that was the only time, maybe 1 or 2 times when he went to the left. That's when we saw Bukayo Saka even in the game. Gyökeres, where was he? Mentally, Gyökeres is still in Portugal. My man has not even done his medical just yet. I'm telling you for free. Manchester United, we lost the game. But fact is, I'm happy with the boys. I know we'll cook this season without even fire or pots.
How the mighty have fallen. Clinton, when you look at these stats on the screen here, possession, Manchester United nearly doubled Arsenal's possession. They're 22 shots versus 9. But at the end of the day, they weren't able to get the 3 points. And like you mentioned, Arsenal were poor yesterday. Manchester United was the better team. They did dominate. But I think, Alex Ashmore, it's you that always say at the end of the day, it's the one who can score and get it in the back of the net, get those 3 points.
I think of those stats, we should look at the clear-cut chances.
Yeah. What did we watch yesterday?
Nothing.
Well, listen. Listen, like I said, right? We saw Manchester United last season. We saw how poor, when you talk about a big team that's poor, I think Manchester United was a pure definition. I mean, Tottenham was there, but somehow they were able to obviously get the European trophy, and there was still some kind of glimpse of you cannot compare us to Manchester United, right? But looking at how we ended, we probably could have been relegated. Who knows? But looking at who they were, and this first game against this Arsenal, looking at this team that United have put together, look at Cunha, look at Mbeumo, you look at Šeško. I know no one seemed to be talking about this, but I don't understand why he didn't start the game. I know what people would say. He's a new player, his first game, you can't just rush him into playing, whatever, let him come. But no, for me, that was the game we needed him to start. For me.
You're starting him with Mbeumo?
Oh, come on. I can always have Mbeumo come from what's it called? The
wing.
I'll get him to start from the wing.
But I think it's fair. I think it's worth saying that Mbeumo did play well.
No, definitely he did.
I think when you look at his pace, he brings a lot to that team.
Mm-hmm.
He has good strength on the ball. I think the only thing is, perhaps to your point, he was up there quite a lot on counter-attacks. He'd have the ball on his own, and there'd be no one to pass to. No midfielder running in, no winger coming across the side. He was on his own, and quite often would lose the ball, understandably so. I also think the way United play with the back five, those wingers, those fullbacks should be bombing up the left and the right.
Yep.
See them do that at all.
Definitely, and that's the reason why even when Amad Diallo came in, I felt like this is the guy we needed all this while. The moment he stepped into that pitch, there was something that changed, even especially with that right wing. And I didn't see it with Mason Mount when he was in the game. I mean, he wasn't playing from. I think Mason Mount was playing from. I think he was playing from the left wing, I believe. Right? If I'm not mistaken. No, I think he was playing from the right, from the left.
Cunha started on the left, didn't he?
Cunha was the number 9 position yesterday.
No, I thought Mbeumo was.
Was it Mbeumo that was?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Mbeumo started up front.
No, but anyways, I think.
Mason was on the left.
Yeah.
Up front.
Exactly.
Because that's when they did the.
Yeah. So for me, I think if I was Amorim, and that's the reason why I had to put up a whole lot of email to Manchester United as at last night. No, for real, to say I want to have a meeting with Ruben Amorim, and that has to be happening as soon as possible, and I'm doing it for free because Manchester United has to be great again.
On Zoom. On Zoom, or are you going to go to
No. I'm actually going to Old Trafford.
Okay.
Yeah, we're literally going to have a proper meeting. And it's not even a joke. I know you guys think it's a joke. Trust me, I have contacts there. No, but
have they
listen.
not been sacked? By Sir Jim Ratcliffe?
No. I think I still see Amorim being our guy. I think now he has a team. It's only a first game against an Arsenal. And I don't think it will be too early to say he's not, the guy. And I know I got a couple of messages to say that by December, people will be saying Amorim should get out. But I don't think that's what would happen. I think that Manchester United I saw yesterday was looking at least very solid. And that was the first Premier League game. I think maybe 2, 3, 4 games, they would be more stabilized. And Ruben Amorim as well would see what kind of players he should be bringing in to start game. Personally, if I was Amorim, what will I do? I will make sure Amad Diallo is definitely starting every single game for me.
Okay, I have a qualm to pick with you about Ruben Amorim because yesterday I think he should have started Benjamin Šeško. I think that's fair to say.
Yep.
Another problem. You're down in a game and you bring in Manuel Ugarte when Kobe Mainoo is right there on the bench.
Absolutely.
I think this also was a really poor decision from him, and the game slowed down completely once Ugarte came in.
I mentioned this because I was watching the game with my friend Julius. Like on phone.
A dear friend of mine.
Yeah. and this was literally one of the things we mentioned. We're saying, listen, you're losing, and initially, I didn't even look at the lineup. I didn't even know Kobe Mainoo was available until I saw a cameo. You showed him, and I'm like, wait, this guy is somewhere. What is Amorim thinking about? Like, you see, one of the problems I think Amorim seems to be having currently with this Manchester United is this selection process. I think he's used the whole of last season to do this experiment, which Manchester United fans, Manchester United as a whole, they gave him the credit. They say, listen, do whatever you want to do. There's so much wrong going on with this team as we speak, but do whatever you want to do. From next season, use all the lessons you've learned, come into this whole new season, and make everything strong. Now, imagine if he picks the correct players to start this game against Arsenal. Mind you, this is a game against Arsenal. This is Old Trafford. This is a game you have to be winning. And you're coming with this. I mean, the moment I knew Amad Diallo was not going to start, I felt like, okay, maybe, Cunha and Mbeumo, all of these guys, something would, one way or the other. But when we saw how the game was going, we've already considered a goal. I was thinking, okay, after halftime, 50 minutes, you're not wasting time. You're bringing in everybody we want. 50 minutes went, 60 minutes went, and then, you're bringing in Benjamin. I think that was even the wrong time to bring in a player whom this is probably, or this is going to be the first time he's going to be playing a game in Premier League. And not just an ordinary game. This is Manchester United playing against an Arsenal, right? This is almost like the pressure. There was already pressure before the game started. Now, there was even more pressure when we start conceding. We already want to go down. You're bringing in Šeško. Every single fan is looking at this guy coming to do some kind of magic. No, it doesn't work like that.
And by then, Arsenal had shut up shop and closed up.
That's a problem. Now, look at what's happening with Gyökeres for Arsenal now. Yeah? I'm sure a couple of Arsenal fans, in fact, I saw some few comments. They were saying, oh, Havertz is even better than this guy. No, I saw this. And I'm like, wait, chill. This is the first Premier League game that he's playing. All of a sudden, Havertz comes in, and I can't lie to you, they are kind of correct because Havertz was almost more promising in that game than we saw with Gyökeres. I didn't even know Gyökeres was in the game. I had to go check live score, lineup. And when I saw Gyökeres, I'm like, somebody was saying, that's his number. I'm like, wait, Gyökeres is in this game. But sometimes, you don't blame him. For me, Gyökeres is not a world-class striker. Yeah? He's just an ordinary striker whom people have expected so much from. And I'm sure you guys are thinking about that statement because of the amount of goals he's had in Portugal. But
I think it's also worth noting how bad Saka and Martinelli were yesterday.
Absolutely. Oh, I've not gotten to that just yet. I was great.
Wait, can we finish with Manchester United and then we'll
come to Arsenal?
Because one player I want to bring up is Matheus Cunha, because I thought everybody was talking about Gyökeres versus Šeško.
Šeško, yeah.
And I thought, for me, Matheus Cunha was incredible. But it was like you said, how many times was he able to dribble past the defense of Arsenal, and then he was alone? But he was brilliant. He had so much pace to Manchester United, and I think there needs to be more discussion about him coming into your squad. Obviously, Mbeumo coming from Brentford and knowing that he's a proven striker in the Prem. Okay, Šeško getting all the spotlight. But for me, Matheus Cunha is a player
yesterday.
that
To be honest, I think he was the best Manchester United player yesterday.
Easy?
Definitely, because I think if there's anyone who looked more threatening than anybody in that whole Manchester United team, it was Cunha. As a matter of fact, I was really, really surprised. What I was expecting from Mbeumo was what I got from Cunha. And you can't really blame Mbeumo at the end of the day. My man was literally working hard. All the balls that were coming in, he was doing the job that you will see with a Haaland. He was trying to really having some serious hold plays and trying to find how to distribute passes. The one person I know I definitely didn't see in that game yesterday was Mason Mount, whom recently he's been performing for Manchester United. But maybe that yesterday's game wasn't the game where he was meant to be starting. But like I said, it was still better than the Manchester United we saw from last season. Facing this Arsenal, they made Arsenal look very useless. They made a couple of their players look... I mean, if not for the Arsenal defence, which arguably they probably have the best defence in the Premier League, maybe Liverpool might go head-to-head with them, considering the kind of centre-backs that they have. But Manchester United being able to play them the way they did yesterday, I think that was very impressive. And I note that our next game, I think the next fixtures are actually very difficult.
You guys have like 6 really tough openings.
Very, very tough games. And I love it that way, because what's going to happen now is they're going to go into these next games with this mentality that they've had with this Arsenal, learn from their mistakes that they've seen yesterday and correct them in the next games. It's not going to be easy, of course, but I definitely know that by the end of this season, Manchester United fans, we don't win the league, but I know we'll finish in a very good position this time.
I think that's what frustrated me most about Man United is they were so good going forward on the counter, but when it got to that final third, you were expecting a pass, a killer shot, or a through ball. Nothing.
Something
that PSG Liverpool Champions
so
League
many
game.
times where I was screaming at the TV to be like, pass the ball to he's open, or look at the through ball there, or use the man who's with you. Nothing. Bad ball, try to take the man on. I don't mind you trying to take the man on, but when you do it over and over again, I think I was texting quite a few people about the game at the time, and I was saying, this is good from United, but there's nothing in this final third. This is, I mean, you saw the clear-cut chances, 0.
I have some comments here. Clinton Photosgake says, Clinton, your juju did not work. And to get into Arsenal now. One side said, what Arsenal did is sign a good team. Even on a bad day, they still managed to win. Mourinho did a similar thing and was praised for being the special one. But when Arsenal does it, people have problems. Manchester United ended the season in 15th position and have started the season in 15th position.
Oh my God.
Take the bait. Take the bait.
I think the difference is with this Arsenal, and I don't think you can compare it to that 2004 Chelsea team. One, because they haven't won a trophy. Yes, they won the Community Shield and the FA Cup, but it's, in the grand scheme of things, not a major
They've not won any
trophy.
trophies.
And I think when you look at that Arsenal performance yesterday, Cunha, we talked about how good he was. Saliba was on the rocks. I thought Saliba had one of his worst first half performances, especially, I've seen in a while. Calafiori going forward, yes, obviously he got the goal, so that's sort of silver lining it. But I think when you look at that defence, a better team would have got maybe 1, 2, possibly 3 goals against that Arsenal defence. I think there is that. Yes, when you don't play at your best, you get the results. But we have to remember this is a Manchester United that finished 16th last season. They're coming a long way to try and compete with the top 6 again. This Arsenal team left a lot to be desired yesterday. And I think I don't want to shoot the Arsenal fans down, who are obviously very buoyant after a win. You know, 3 points is what you want on the first day. But I think when I look at that Arsenal team, when I see them coming up against the likes of City, Liverpool, with the firepower that City and Liverpool have, I think their defence will show up and, well, won't show up and will show that there is a weakness in that Arsenal defence.
Nouha, where did it go wrong for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal yesterday? Was it the lineup, you know, leaving out players like Lewis Skelly and Mikel Merino maybe to start, Kai Havertz? Or was it just, you know, can you write it off as first game jitters at Old Trafford? What do you make of it?
I honestly do think it's first game jitters, even though yesterday, obviously, like you said, 3 points is 3 points, but Man United was, for me, clearly the better team, and their future looks bright if they continue this way. Now, for Arsenal, my big disappointment was obviously Gyökeres. 0 shots, 0 passes. He didn't do anything, basically. But another disappointment for me was Martin Zubimendi. I feel like in that midfield, he didn't add anything. He was actually very nervous, and it did look like he was nervous. He had trouble doing the passes. He had trouble taking risks and taking shots. And I think he shouldn't have started. Maybe first game nervousness. Maybe he should have started on the bench. So for me, Zubimendi would definitely be out. Gyökeres maybe would be out for me also. Maybe he's nervous. I don't know. I was very disappointed and underwhelmed by, obviously, like Clinton said, we did raise him up to a certain standard, and the fact that he disappointed us was kind of icky. I feel like for Šeško, I would have had the same feeling, because what if Šeško came in, started, and then we didn't get anything from him? Then Man United would have been disappointed, especially since they lost. Now, Arsenal has that upper hand in a sense where Gyökeres didn't do anything, but they still won. So if they had lost, we would have had headlines all over being like, Gyökeres, the disappointment of the season, and we still had that in a sense. But for me, yeah, Arsenal, I don't know, maybe they shouldn't have started the new signings just yet.
Lucrezia, do you think it's fair? I guess the world is very unforgiving these days, but like Clinton kind of mentioned with Gyökeres, it is his first official Prem match. He obviously scored in preseason. We saw him, you know, get a goal in the Arsenal kit, but do you think it's something that it just is going to take time to grow into?
I think so. Watching the match, to me, it felt like he was still stuck in the playing system that he had before, and it didn't really, it kind of looked like he didn't train with Arsenal and didn't know how the players were going to play with him, how the passes were going to be. They were just not working together well as a team, so I think that will take time. But on the other hand, we don't know if it's going to be the same player that he was in Sporting last year, because the Portuguese league is much different than the Premier League. So that will be an added challenge for him. But I'm sure time, consistency, more training with the players, more even talking between them what they want, what their playing style is, that would definitely help him going forward.
Yeah. All right, Clinton. Manchester United in action next weekend against Fulham, and as we mentioned, then they have Burnley, City, Chelsea coming up. So a lot of big games going into next weekend. You're very positive still, and it seems like a lot of Manchester United fans are.
Wait, did you say our next feature is Burnley?
Relegation 6 points of that.
Fulham.
Fulham.
Oh, Fulham, sorry.
Then
Fulham.
Grimsby
The other
in
ones
the Carabao Cup. then Burnley, City, Chelsea.
I mean, Fulham, I think, it should be an easy win for this United.
Why?
That I currently see because, listen, I'm not trying to downplay Fulham here, okay? They've had, to be honest, last season they were quite good. I can't remember where they finished from, but...
Oh, better than you.
No?
No, definitely, I know they were better than United, of
They
course.
knocked United out of the FA Cup.
Yeah, whatever, man. But
He doesn't want to talk about
yeah, let's not go there. But for me, I'm just looking at this Manchester United. The one reason, and sorry, Sarah, just before I get into that other question, one reason I was so angry, I was so pissed not to see Benjamin Sesko start that game yesterday was because, I think he's my final piece of puzzle that I was still trying to learn to see where we are going this season, especially when it comes to that striking side. And I'm not going to judge him based off on him coming at like 60-something minutes. Yeah, because first of all, like I said, we already 1-0 down. You don't know what the mental aspect of him is saying coming into a game, his first game, where they are 1-0 down, right? I would have loved to see him start. Just the same way every other striker that has been signed to the Premier League. We saw Hugo Ekitike starting for Liverpool, and my man went in straight. I mean, for me, I think it's not just about going into the pitch to play football. It's about the whole mental aspect of football. Prepare the players properly and make sure that the kind of, the moments where you're bringing them in, they have some good stability when it comes to the mental aspect of the game. Sesko, I don't think he came in the right, or he started the right game or the right condition or the situation. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. Look at Gyökeres, for example. Yeah, they made him start, and now I can easily tell you one or two things. Like, I'm not going to say he's not a good striker, but I can now tell you that, listen, he's not a world-class striker. Now, I know you look at me and you say, what is a world-class striker? I'm going to tell you, and if I was you, I would get the pen and the paper and I will write. This is very important for students, okay? Now, a world-class...
You didn't bring your glasses.
No, yeah. Well,
Your
because...
teacher
No,
glasses.
actually, funny, but you told me I look like a teacher, so I'm not wearing it now, man. Now, a world-class striker is a player striker. Wow. Who goes into... No, hold on, wait. Remember again?
Who plays?
The reason I said player striker, because there are so many players playing different positions, but you want to now make sure you're aware of what position we're speaking about. So a world-class player striker is a person who goes into any league and hits the ground running immediately. I give an example. Haaland is a world-class striker. Yeah? If you have to use the word, they need time to get into the league, that person is not world-class. It doesn't mean he's a bad player, though. It means that he just needs to understand where he's coming to play. He needs a couple of games to get into the league. Gyökeres could be that guy. Sesko, I don't know yet. He could also be the guy. But Haaland came from Germany, came to England, and literally stole the show. Haaland is an example. Another example is a Victor Osimhen, right? And this is not me saying it because he's my countryman. I know that's the next thing you will say. But fact is, Osimhen goes into anywhere and it becomes a king. And that's one reason why I wanted him to come to the Premier League. Because here would have been the final destination for me to say, 100% you are a world class. Right now, he's like 99%.
I think like Lookman, a lot less like Lookman. I suppose Lookman has done it in the Premier League. I say he hasn't done it in the Premier League. He's been in the Premier League but didn't perform well. Osimhen, I think that is the one asterisk against his career, that he hasn't played in a league like the Premier League, where, I mean, I think this is my opinion. I think this is the opinion of quite a lot of other people. The Premier League is the most competitive league in the world, the best league in the world.
Alex, say it the way it is, man. Don't be this political, man.
What?
Tell everybody Premier League is the craziest, the best league in the world.
I mean,
it's not you dying to...
I think the Premier League is the best league in the world.
An Englishman thinks the Premier League is the best league in the world.
I mean, I don't
Do you
think
think the Premier League is the best league in the world?
No, I feel like the Premier League is like you having a PhD. The moment you've been able to conquer it, you already have... If you go conquer any other league, I mean, let's say you play in the French league or you play in the La Liga or whatever, right? At that point, you have a BSc, yeah? If you then go from the La Liga and then you go play in Italy or you go play in France, for example, at that point, you have a master's degree, yeah?
France Masters.
No, I'm just saying that you've
Why
left...
not?
No, going from one league to another league that's not the Premier League, that's you having your masters. The moment you come to the Premier League and you do it here, at that point, you are a PhD holder, assuming you've done it and you did it well. So, for example, now, who is a PhD holder in football right now? I can easily say a Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah? Why? Because he's conquered it all. Yeah? At that point, he's a professor. Because now, your professorship now, it now means you're now going to even the leagues that don't count. And you're still doing it there. Okay?
He's teaching
mean-
the newcomers.
Yeah, that's why he's a professor. So that's the reason why he's able to tell which coach comes into the team. That's the reason why he's able to tell the club which players have to come play in his own club. And that's why we're seeing João Felix coming to play. You think he's coming to play for Arnes? Eh? No, he's coming to play for Ronaldo. Am I lying? I'm not lying. That's another level of football. You see, so Osimhen, I wanted him to just come to the Premier League. And do you know what the funny thing is? I know and I trust him so much. I know if he comes to the Premier League, he would cook. He would cook. Because I see people who play like Osimhen, yeah, in the Premier League. I give an example in Mateta. Yeah, Mateta has the energy, he has the height, he has everything, but because it's for Crystal Palace, he's not so rated. And he's one player I still hope that as Eberechi is going, he's also going to find a club where he's going to shine more. Because the reason why everyone is speaking about my Nigerian brother from Crystal Palace who's now going to Bayern Munich.
Olise.
Olise, the reason why we speak about him today is because he's now left Crystal Palace. He's gone to the best club in Germany. And he's doing exactly what they knew him.
Does he have a PhD?
Not yet.
Does he have? Well, he did
you
because he
could
was in
say.
the Premier
You
League.
could say that.
So
or
he has a
did he-
PhD.
Did he spend enough time in the Premier League for you to consider him PhD holder? That's what they're asking.
Michael Olise.
I think right now, yeah, if you start from the Premier League, yeah, your degree, you don't, for me, you don't have a BSc. You just went straight to getting a master's degree. Because whether you like it or anybody that you finish from the Premier League, any other league you go becomes very easy for you. There are only maybe 1 or 2 players that have left the Premier League and they've suffered in. I give an example, my brother also, Iheanacho. Yeah, he's gone to Sevilla, one way or the other, I think.
Hazard.
Sorry, I mean, Hazard is injury. It wasn't that it was bad. Hazard, everybody knows his potential. Everybody knows he's a game changer. He's a playmaker. He's everything in football. But problem was the injury.
But he wasn't in La Liga.
He wasn't. He played for Real Madrid.
No, I know, but he wasn't a playmaker that we expected him to be in La Liga.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it was injury. It wasn't
Yeah, but
like,
then does he have his PhD then?
And Hazard, I'd say at Chelsea, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
I think
One of the best
I mean,
midfielders
this
in
is
Premier League
Hazard
history.
in Chelsea Premier League. I think for me, Hazard didn't even need to go to Real Madrid.
I think you
to
could
have a PhD.
quite possibly say that Hazard is
One of the best.
One of the best. that's
one
come
of,
from England.
if not maybe the best wingers in Premier League history.
Punto.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. Because I see, sometimes I think people just need to go back to look at these players that, yeah, 1 or 2 things have happened to you. You could imagine if somebody that was maybe born in 2007, 2008, now they'll grow up later on and tell you that
Like
who
your
is
grandkids'
Neymar?
age?
Sorry?
They're 18 now.
Whatever.
The 2008.
Ah, yeah, your
My God.
grandkids.
No, what do you mean they're 18? They are not 18.
Yes, 17, 18.
17, 18.
2008?
Yeah.
17.
Crazy.
They're turning 18 in
Yeah.
They're already grown up.
Clinton, Lamine Yamal was born in 2007.
And he just turned 18.
Just turned 18 last month.
Makes you feel old, doesn't it? Makes me feel old.
Wait, hold on. 2008 is 18?
No, 17.
No,
but
no,
in
but, like,
2026,
they will be 18.
turning 18.
So they'll be adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time goes by fast
mean,
when
to-
you're a Filipino.
Damn.
I know. Makes you feel older.
Shall
He
we
is
move
older.
along?
No, it makes me feel
Even
Asian.
older than
Ancient is the word.
what he is.
Just before we move along, just a comment here from Forced to Survive. My name is Joseph Ajay from Ghana. I love your show. Please tell the African guy who danced in the sports ad that we appreciate him whenever it plays. My kids get happy.
Oh, that's
Sporty
sweet.
heroes, sporty heroes.
Imagine little babies,
That's so cute.
little kids at home watching you, Clinton, and getting happy. And
Sorry,
dancing along.
Ajayi, that's a very... Sorry, did you say his surname is Ajayi?
Yeah, Joseph Ajay.
Ajayi, that was very beautiful and sweet to hear, man. This is the first sweet thing anybody has told me today. See, that's the reason why you guys need to be telling me sweet stuff, just so nobody comes to break your
I don't have
record.
You'll be
kids
wait.
to tell you that they watch you, so.
Yeah, that's why you need to start thinking about kids now, man.
A friendly reminder, guys, coming up right after today's show, we do have the DFB Pokal with SN taking on Borussia Dortmund, Job Bellingham, in action coming up immediately after the show, so stay tuned on Sporty TV. All right, let's move along because it wasn't just Manchester United and Arsenal in action over the weekend. In fact, the first match of the Premier League was a cracker, and it was Liverpool taking on Bournemouth. 4-2 to Liverpool, a comeback from the Reds, going up 2-0. Semenyo scoring 2 for the Cherries. And then out of all people, who would have thought Federico Chiesa finally scoring a goal for Liverpool. And of course, Mohamed Salah. What a goal, what a game. Alex, just the smile on your face. You're remembering your Friday night. Like,
Yeah. God, I was watching it thinking, how good is it to have Premier League football? I think I even tweeted that. Yeah, it had everything. It had goals, it had end-to-end stuff, shots on target, drama. Unfortunately, it was marred with one idiot who racially abused Antoine Semenyo, who has now thankfully been arrested.
Good.
I think the way, if you said to me, I want to start watching football, I've never seen a game before in my life, I'd show you Liverpool-Bournemouth. It was fantastic. I mean, I don't support either side, but I was willing both of them to score. When Liverpool went 2-0 up, I was like, oh, how good would it be if Bournemouth came back and made this interesting? Antoine Semenyo pulls out a brace out of nowhere. And for those of you who triple captain him on fantasy football, why? How do you know? Yeah, I just think it was brilliant. I came into the game thinking Bournemouth were going to be weak. I thought they were going to struggle against Liverpool. I had Liverpool as my title favourites, but when you look at how well they managed to deal with Liverpool's onslaught, I think they could be very proud of themselves. A lot of things to improve on for Liverpool. I think Konate had perhaps one of the worst games I've seen of his career in a Liverpool shirt. He looked weak, but overall, I think at the end of the day, you get the 3 points. You shake off the cobwebs, as they say, as the season goes on. My God, how good does Hugo Ekitike look?
well, I mean, obviously, it's only one game, and we're critiquing these teams that have literally, some of them haven't even played because we have Everton and Leeds coming up later this evening. But Clinton, when you're looking at Liverpool, a lot of people, including Alex and I, maybe?
Nope.
No. Oh, Chelsea. Chelsea. We will get to you, Chelsea. We will get to you, Chelsea. Wait for it. I mean, we will get to Chelsea. Don't worry. But Clinton, obviously, some concerns at Liverpool. Maybe not going forward, but like Alex mentioned, Konate, Van Dijk as well. The back pairing that we thought, rivals Gabby and Saliba, also looked a little shaky. Yeah.
Now, listen, I think, first of all, like we said, this is the first game in the this year's competition. And, we've seen defenders have this kind of shaky moments. They played against a Bournemouth, whom, forget about the name, but these are also a very good team. When you saw the way they played, the way they kept ball, I mean, you would never even think they're playing at Liverpool. This is literally the team that won the Premier Leagues. There's no way it was going to be very easy for Bournemouth and even Liverpool. However, what we saw was a team that looked at this Liverpool and said, yeah, you might be the best in England, but we're going to also give you a run for your money. Yeah, and one thing also I want to state is the fact that every other team attackers, they look at defenders and they go to study them. They go to look. They go to see, okay, where is their weak point? When you look at that best, like I said, Van Dijk, Konate, these are the top two pairs in the Premier League. And if I was an attacker from any team, I would be thinking about whenever I want to play Arsenal, whenever I want to play Liverpool, how do I pass these two? And I think Bournemouth, they were able to do that job, perfectly by making people the likes of Konate. Just at some point, he felt like he was running without map. Like he needed, even Google Map was not working. He needed ways, to navigate him to the right places where this ball was going to. And I would like to say, in general, I still don't think it was as bad. I still think, when you look at the positive from that Liverpool side, the attacking, I think there was still a lot of glimpse of goodness that I saw in that Liverpool. When you look at Mo Salah, even the Hugo.
I actually thought Salah was disappointing. I know he scored, but I think he was quiet.
For me, I've always argued in this show.
He's griefing.
I've always argued in this show, yeah. The reason why I don't think he had a bad game was because I've never rated him to the point where you, in particular, you've rated Salah. You've always mentioned Mo Salah, this, Mo Salah, that, Mo Salah. Listen, for me, he had a decent game. He had a normal game that I could mention like 100 other players would normally have. He's an average winger. Mo Salah, sorry to say, he has all the goals. He's the best. That's your opinion. I'm sorry, guys. You guys know me. I don't like saying I don't like going with the crowd. This is what I feel. Mo Salah, first of all, he has never been world class to me. Number two, his Mo Salah is like Madueke to me, I'm sorry to say. No, yes! Sorry. But no, let's see. And I will still continue arguing it.
So you
What does Mo Salah do that Madueke does not do, apart from scoring goals?
Wins the Golden Boot every year.
What's in that? But that's the thing. Like, no, see.
How many times has Madueke won the Golden Boot?
Listen, Madueke is just a player in Chelsea that comes in, you know.
Arsenal.
When he was in
now,
Chelsea, I'm thinking about because he's only just had how many games in Arsenal. But listen, Mo Salah, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's a bad player. But where you guys put Mo Salah, for me, I don't put him there. He's a very good player.
Second, maybe even, he's, I think, top 2 wingers in Premier League history, Salah and Hazard.
Fourth top
So
winger
me, that's
in
your
Premier League
business.
history. As of yesterday, as of this week, and as of Friday, he is fourth.
No, I think Alex was going
I'm
off
saying
of
my
his
opinion.
opinion, not goals.
Oh, well, he is. By the way, he is the top 4 scorers in
Yeah,
Premier League
for
history.
Liverpool.
Okay,
For-
hold on.
and Premier League history.
Hold on, wait, no, wait. No, before
Sorry.
our TV
I
guys
love
don't
how
put me
they
in
do-
trouble.
I love it
No,
how they
wait.
God.
No,
Print it in the paper.
No, wait.
same,
Wait.
same as Noni.
I didn't say. I.
Sorry,
Okay,
Clinton,
wait.
now
Okay,
it's
wait.
out
Okay,
there.
wait. Okay, wait. Let me
You
rephrase it.
paraphrase
No,
that.
okay, hold on. Let me rephrase it.
You also said he was an average winger.
Yeah, someone put that. Mo
I-
Salah is an average winger.
Okay, I would agree with
I
that
don't
one.
get the eye.
I would.
Did you say
Sorry,
that? But
I would agree, and I will say it again. For me, for the level of football that I have seen in the Premier League, Mo Salah.
So
is-
for you,
is-
average is winning the golden.
So, can I ask you
Boot.
for 5 Premier League wingers that you think are better than Mo Salah?
Now, the only problem here
All
is that
time.
you
No,
guys,
no.
you guys will start looking at goals and assists.
No.
No,
I'm
it's not
listen.
you.
I'm asking you for 5. I'm asking you your opinion. 5 wingers of all time in the Prem. Now we're past that you think are better than Mo Salah.
A lot of them, but I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to.
Name 3.
No.
Name 1.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No, what
from
do you?
Hazard.
Okay, hold on. Let me, and this is going to be a shocker for you. Okay, before I mention this one player, let me explain first before people take my, because I know how these things work, right? Look
get
at
'em,
what,
boys.
look at what they are doing in our own Sporty TV studio. Look how they're about to put me in trouble.
You said that,
ClintonCod, Mo Salah is the same as Madrid. No, but
You
listen,
said that.
no, but this
You
should
said
be-
it again.
No. No, but that's not how I said it though. Mo Salah, okay, Mo Salah is a great player, but he's not world class to me. I think that's the best way for me to say it. Okay, you've just said it. He had some, average. He didn't have the best game in that opening, yeah, but he did get a goal because whether you like it or not, they scored 2. Bournemouth came back 2-2. Chiesa scored the 3rd one. And then at that point, you would obviously understand that Bournemouth at this point, first of all, they are tired. They've probably given up on the game. And this was 9 minutes. They probably think, you know what, let's just... And then Mo Salah gets in another goal. Why didn't he get a goal from the start of the game when things were really heated? Why was he having a bad game from the whole of the start of the game till the end of the game? Like, why? It's to tell you that... I give an example, Lamine Yamal, yeah? Lamine Yamal, how many times have you heard people say that, oh, somebody put him in some pocket? Or, even if he doesn't score, even if he doesn't give an assist, Lamine Yamal is somebody I would just gladly sit down and watch. To me, this is how I rate players. I want to see a player and be like, I just love watching you play football. Does that make sense? Like, I don't like this generation where everybody just continues speaking about goals and assists. Somebody could score 20 penalties and they'll be like, yeah, he's a golden boot, he's the best player alive. But it's 20 penalties, man. For me, it's...
Salah doesn't score just penalties.
No, I'm not saying he's...
Some
Oh,
of the
God.
goals Salah's have scored have been
Go-
some of the best goals in
Oh, come on, God, what do you mean Premier League? Fam, your
City,
next compilation,
Everton.
go find the next compilation and bring me all Mo Salah goals and I'll tell you a whole bunch of players who have
But
scored the
then,
same kind of
Clinton,
goals.
it's unfair to say he's not a world class when you just sat here 5 minutes ago and explained what world class was, and he fits every single
No, it
description
doesn't. It
you've been
doesn't, actually.
given.
When I say world class, it's somebody who has proven it in every single different leagues. That's world class for me. You go in, you hit the
Yeah,
ground
but then
running
you
well.
said
But he's
Premier
only been in
League was
Liverpool for
the-
like God knows how
you
long.
said-
When he was in Chelsea, did you know about Mo Salah? Exactly.
Can I
That's a
read some
very good
comments
question.
here? Bright Thomas said, bro, Mo Salah is the GOAT. Don't get me wrong. Zainab said, Salah is not as flashy as Neymar or Hazard. I think that's what you mean. Abdul says, Mo Salah is the best winger in the Prem history. Photos Gake says, Clinton, please go wear your glasses and gauge Salah properly. Well, controversy caused by
Clinton.
KlintonCod.
Okay, you know what? Let me ask them this. Oh my God, no, I'm not going to say this. Forget it. Don't worry.
All
Sorry,
right,
go on.
let's move along here. Liverpool did get their 3 points against Bournemouth. And speak about Mo Salah. He was the last player on the pitch at Anfield, as the fans did sing a tribute to Diogo Jota. And we also did see another tifo of Diogo Jota over at the Molineux from the Wolves fans, because before Diogo Jota was a Liverpool fan, of course he was a Wolves fan. So that was really lovely to see from the football community as a whole. We'll get to Wolves. Let's jump to, Alex, where are we going? Stamford Bridge. Yes, 0-0 across the board. 90 minutes of your weekend watching the Prem. Wasn't it a good one? Marquet, let's start there.
Are you talking about the player or the
goal
moment where he...
I'm talking about the moment, of course.
To be honest, I think if the rules are rules.
Yeah.
He was within 1 metre of the wall, and you can't do that according to the rules. I also think when you look at what he did to, I want to say it was Moises Caicedo. I think it was.
It was.
You leave Moises Caicedo where he was, that ball hits Moises Caicedo. So even if it's not within 1 metre of the wall, that you can't just drag someone out of the way. I think when you look at the complaints, yes, Palace would be like, it's a silly rule, but the rules are rules. But even if it's not a rule, you should be giving a foul for dragging someone out of the way when they're in the wall. I thought Chelsea were average. I thought they had nothing going forward. I thought you look at that front 4, 5. Cole Palmer was quiet. João Pedro was quiet. Pedro Neto was quiet. Jamie Gittins was quiet.
Enzo
Fernandez.
Moises Caicedo. The only actual positive thing to come out of yesterday was the defence.
Which you actually speak very highly of, usually.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm being facetious.
Yeah, I just look at... I mean, obviously, I don't think Cucurella offered that much going forward. Reece James as well, I thought, lacked a lot going forward. But defensively, yes, there wasn't a whole lot thrown their way by Palace. But what they had to deal with, they dealt with. I thought Josh Achiampong didn't do anything particularly wrong. I thought he played relatively well, considering the lack of experience he has at this level. I just look at the performance and it looks flat. It looks lacklustre. It looks lackadaisical, disappointing. And at no point have I said I think Chelsea are title contenders. I still think we're a long way off title contention. You look at how badly we played against Crystal Palace. Yes, people say opening day, getting the cobwebs off, getting used to the speed and the pace of the Premier League again. But if you want to win the league, you've got to do what Man City did against Wolves. You've got to do what Liverpool did against Bournemouth. And I'm sorry, Chelsea just aren't good enough.
But, sorry, my host.
My host. My lord, my host.
Sorry, Her Majesty.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that was spice out a bit. Now, listen, Alex. You got to understand that Chelsea didn't play an ordinary team. They played the Crystal Palace that just won the FA Cup. They've also won. They won. Listen, they beat Liverpool and Manchester City
They also
to actually win
12th in the
titles.
Premier League.
Yeah. Okay.
They're also likely to lose
Okay.
Everiche and Marquet, which is a real shame because I think this Crystal Palace team looks like they could do something, and they're losing their 2 best players.
No, of course, no. They were.
I'm not taking anything away from Crystal Palace. But if you want to win the Premier League, you have to beat Crystal Palace.
No, I mean Manchester United want to win Premier League, but we wouldn't even beat Arsenal either. Like
Yeah, but
Crystal
you're not gonna
Palace.
win
Saying
the
United
Crystal-
don't win the Premier League.
No, but
No one ever talked about United winning the Premier League.
no. I am talking about them.
Yeah,
though.
I
Oh no! What do you mean?
I think disillusion might be coming into this a little bit. Well, when you look at... Some people have talked about Chelsea as being title contenders. Everyone was bigging them up.
I
after
said
the Club
Chelsea.
World
I
Cup
said
win.
Chelsea will win the Premier
Everyone
League.
was
That's what I
saying,
said.
oh, how wonderful they are after the Club World Cup. How
opinion.
good they are going to be.
Sorry.
I still look at that Chelsea side and I see a lot of holes. I see a strike force. I think João Pedro, yes, he did good at the Club World Cup, but don't think he's going to get you 30 goals a season. Liam Delap, I don't think he's going to get you 25, 30 goals. I know Enzo Maresca likes to spread the goals, but if you don't have a striker that can at least get you 20, 25 goals a season, you're not winning the title. And yesterday, I think if they'd have played for a day, if they were still playing now, I don't think they would have scored.
I told you that this is my biggest problem with Chelsea fans. Yeah. Now, prior to that game, Chelsea fans would probably tell you, "Hey, man, listen."
He didn't, to be fair.
No, I mean, listen. Prior to the Club World Cup, yeah, he never had any strong hope for Chelsea.
I've never had an issue.
No, Alex, stop it, man.
But
Wait.
the last time I had strong hope for Chelsea was when they when they won the league in
2012.
2017.
So you mean that even Chelsea beating PSG and the manner at which they beat them, you still didn't feel like Chelsea were looking very solid?
Yeah.
I thought they were looking a good team, but I never thought they were going to win the league. You look at my
That's also
Premier League
one
prediction.
match. You can base their entire Premier League based on that.
I'm
No,
not.
but that's
I
what I'm
am
saying.
and I'm not.
No. I'm guessing this is a counter to me,
gave
right?
that to him.
Yeah, but no,
I
but
have
no.
that as well. But
You guys
also,
were all just the Spider-Man. I'm done.
but I think as
Oh,
well,
it's so good.
it's not just that. You look at the Club World Cup, you look at last season, they scraped into 4th place. They were lucky to get 4th place with the defence and the goalkeeper that they have.
I don't think that was luck though. I mean, as in luck doesn't
Yes,
get you to
Premier
win the
League.
Conference League.
Maybe not
luck
luck.
doesn't get you to get into the 4th position in the Premier League.
Maybe not
Fam,
luck.
people are putting in the work.
But
And
they're
right
a good
now,
team, but they're not title contenders, and they're about maybe 2-3 years off competing with a Man City or Liverpool.
you know what? Listen, yeah. When you look at this Manchester, coming back to Manchester United, because I want to use it as an example to come into what you're saying now, right? First of all, you don't base what would happen to a team on an opening game, especially against a team that's just won 2 titles. Hold on, let me finish, my lord, right?
Wow.
Wait,
Today you're just on fire.
listen. This Crystal Palace, even without Olise, yeah, and sorry, God, I was going to say Harry Kane, Tottenham, sorry, but I mean, I was thinking about his teammates from the other club. But this Crystal Palace, they beat the 2 best teams in the Premier League that you are looking at to win the Premier League.
But this is Crystal Palace we're talking about. I know they beat these teams.
Yes.
They're a good team. I think Oliver Glasner has done a fantastic job at Crystal Palace with the resources he has to his availability. Yes, they lost Elise and they've been fantastic. Eze and Mateta have been brilliant. But if you want to win a Premier League title, you have to beat Crystal Palace at home when there's rumours going around that their 2 best players are leaving. Probably not the most motivated camp in the Premier League. If you want to win the Premier League, I'm sorry, you have to beat Crystal Palace.
So
I don't care how many games they've won in a row.
So let's imagine that
all
free
due
kick.
respect.
Let's imagine that free kick was not cancelled from Iberi Cheze, yeah? What would you be speaking about Chelsea now?
I'd be saying the same thing. I think awful performance. You should be beating a team like Crystal Palace on the opening day if you want to consider yourselves as title challengers.
For me, sincerity, I don't think. I just thought that Crystal Palace just made things very, very difficult for Chelsea, and Chelsea just couldn't get a win. As a matter of fact, I thought Chelsea was probably going to win, knowing they were playing their first home game in Stamford Bridge. But I still also, don't want you to see Chelsea like they're so weak because they couldn't win a Crystal Palace, who have just beaten Liverpool and Manchester City. Not just ordinary beating though. Sorry, not just ordinary winning. These are title winnings. So,
Speaking about just beating, though, and I'll ask it to both of you because you both have Chelsea winning the Prem. If we're talking about just beating, Chelsea just beat PSG. If we're talking about a team that should be probably the most in form right now because Liam Delap, Joao Pedro, Noni was out, they had besides Jamie Gittins, they had their new signings. They had played a tournament as a team. They barely had any time off. Yeah, fatigue is definitely a factor, but in terms of fitness and being a team, Chelsea should probably be playing the best right now because they didn't have 7 weeks off.
But
So
they
then
have 7 weeks off. For me, then they're tired. What I've seen is a Chelsea that's tired.
They didn't
that
look
didn't
tired
have-
to me. They just
How
didn't
many
look
weeks off
good.
did Man
for
City
me, I'm not even going to bring in tiredness into this conversation because I
But
feel
you know
like
what I'm saying? Like,
No.
I'm just like playing devil's advocate here. You're saying Crystal Palace just beat Crystal Palace. It was like 2 months ago. Chelsea did just beat like a month ago now, PSG.
Nah, but
They had so much time together throughout that entire tournament together. Shouldn't they be a little bit more cohesive?
yeah, but I still wouldn't expect them to just come into their first game playing Stamford Bridge and start, giving because we are saying it as if the opposition teams are just going to be like, yeah, you guys beat PSG, or come and beat us too. No,
Yeah.
it's still not going to be that easy, especially when you look at the way. First of all, the Crystal Palace coach is not even a joke at all, right?
Glasner.
And what a friend of mine did say to me was, he's now employed the same tactics that Enzo Maresca employed to beat PSG. That's what Crystal Palace has gone on head-to-head with Chelsea, right? I'm not going to go into much details on that. It's very difficult to explain. But, no, it's actually very difficult to explain.
No, go over the tactical.
No, I don't want to go into all of that because I will need my coaching board, with players and stuff. This was a whole full-blown conversation with my friends, like, a couple of hours or 2 days ago. But what I'm saying is, listen, Alex, we saw Joao Pedro being the face of Chelsea. especially from the Club World Cup. And starting that game, everybody were probably looking forward to seeing some kind of amazing performance from João Pedro again, knowing that he's the current goal machine for Chelsea. But what happened? Fact is, in that game, I didn't see João Pedro, in all honesty. I thought that was the most quiet I've seen him since he's been with Chelsea. But does that mean João Pedro all of a sudden maybe he's not the player again? I just think that, let's say they play the next 6-7 games.
I think, of course, we've been saying that about Arsenal. We've been saying that about Manchester United, Liverpool, Bournemouth. Of course, but we do have to base it off the one game we've watched. Hot take, though, I think, is that João Pedro will be the leading guy for Chelsea. It's not going to be. I think he's Estevao. I don't think.
Oh no! Estevao. Oh, we'll speak of Estevao. Oh, sorry.
He had an amazing game.
He was. I mean, no. Hold on.
Estevao.
No, hold on.
I think so. When he came in, I thought he was the only one doing something.
Let me tell you, and let me say what Noah saw. Yeah. No, hold on, because the moment Estevao came in, what we saw with Chelsea, what we saw is back. We saw somebody who didn't care. He was just wanting to run in people. The question is, what were the byproducts of those running in? Because we saw him committing fouls, we saw him, maybe not giving accurate passes. But what we saw, as a matter of fact, the moment he came in and he did that, because he was obviously on the right, I think there was a time he was able to run past I think it was Cucurella, right? I think he ran past about 2 players from Chelsea, and everybody were like, oh! I was one of them. I was like, man, this was, in fact, he just took me back to Lamine Yamal, and I'm like, hey,
please.
No, listen, like I said.
No, he was given that fresh.
He was giving up. He was giving that he was giving the flash that we would see with a Lamine Yamal in the Barcelona.
I think you both appreciated his urgency, maybe, but he lost, I think, 95% of the balls he had.
That's why I said the byproduct we just didn't see.
Fair.
But I'm saying that's
Liam Delap coming in was a bit more, it changed a bit more for Chelsea. Estevao, I know he made runs, but nothing came of that.
He probably could have even scored a goal on a good day if...
can we talk about the chances where he
that's what I'm saying.
That's the other thing, too. He had 2 clear-cut chances.
Yep.
You gotta at least hit it on target.
This is what
I know he's young. I don't want to criticize him because he's so young. And I get that he's still adjusting to a team. But for me, I think this season, João Pedro is your guy. I think Estevao, it's going to take a lot more time. And they're putting a lot of pressure on him, too.
The pressure would always come, especially with his age, the team is coming from, and the whole hype behind how he plays as a Brazilian, the dribbles and all of this stuff. And that's the reason why the moment he came in for Chelsea, he wanted to just show everybody that, listen, some kind of hope. I've just come into the pitch. And he did do it for the first 2 dribbles. He literally ran past people and got the ball into the 18-yard box. But apart from that, I felt like, okay, overall, it wasn't the best game for him either. Yeah. But I still know for a first game or for a first match that they've just had, it would be too early to say João Pedro is going to be the guy. There could be multiple guys. There's still Pedro Neto there, right? Of which everybody knows that Pedro Neto is not a joke for that Chelsea team, right? There are a couple of players in Chelsea that I know that if they play to the level that people would expect from them, yeah, Alex, I think everything you said today, you would vomit every single one of them.
I think my point as a whole, I'm saying I don't think if you don't beat Crystal Palace, you can't consider yourself title challengers.
You really look down so much on Crystal Palace.
I'm not looking down. I think Crystal Palace played well. I thought the game plan they had was perfect. They held Chelsea at bay. Chelsea offered nothing, but they held Chelsea at bay. They were defensively, they were solid. I'm not taking anything away from that Crystal Palace performance. I thought they were by far the better side. They created more chances. They had that goal that was ruled out. It was a brilliant free kick by Eze. I'm saying my first point is if you want to win the title, you should be beating Crystal Palace. My second point of that is I don't think this Chelsea team is good enough to win the title. I don't think they ever have been, let alone when they beat PSG at the Club World Cup.
3 teams in front of Chelsea that they will win.
Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool.
So Arsenal gets into that. So you think Arsenal look more solid than Chelsea?
Yeah. Defensively, yes. Going forward, it'd be interesting to see how Gyökeres gets on, because at the moment, I think with the way Saka played yesterday, I know he can...
So you've just made a statement now, yeah? We'll see how things go, going forward.
But I think if you asked me to put 100 quid on which team is going to win the title, I'd put it on Arsenal first.
But
Sorry?
before
Arsenal?
Chelsea?
I said,
No, of course. Not even
no,
Chelsea.
if you
Yeah, in
said,
between
I'm
the
giving you
two.
two choices, put
Okay,
100 quid
okay.
on Chelsea or 100 quid on Arsenal.
Okay,
I'm
you
putting my
go on
money
Arsenal. Right, okay, fair enough.
I'd even,
Oh,
at this point,
double down.
say I would, given how much promise has come from it, I'd say there's more chance of Man United doing it than Chelsea.
Alex.
What?
That's what I love to hear from Alex, man. Hey, United!
The promise of what I saw. Yes, the final third was lacking a lot. Chelsea didn't even get to the final third, and they were playing Crystal Palace.
I mean, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I kind of doubt that because when I look at that Chelsea, I think Chelsea is one of those teams that I feel I would have loved to kind of have some kind of association with. You probably know by now how much I speak highly about Chelsea. And as a matter of fact, I was more of a Chelsea fan than you when it comes to the Club World Cup, Alex. Everybody pretty much knows that. I believe more in Chelsea than Chelsea fans. And I was just happy that Chelsea were able to prove me right, with that Club World Cup win. But I still...
So during the final, you were with Chelsea and not with PSG.
No. During the final, like, let me explain man to man. Sorry,
No, because
man to
I
woman.
feel...
No, wait.
Now I feel some type of way.
No, hold on. You feel betrayed or something?
Absolutely.
Okay, no. It wasn't. I mean, I was supporting two teams, right? But you came into the final.
Just wait and see which one's called first.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, it was like proper 3-0. It wasn't just an ordinary beating. It was a proper...
And then you switched. And then you were like,
didn't.
I always believed in Chelsea.
No, I believed in them two teams, though. I think Chelsea was more of the team I believed when it came to England. And obviously, PSG, I was very impressed from what we saw in the Champions League. And we saw them in the Club World Cup getting up to the final. I was very impressed. However, with what Chelsea, how they played the game, I kind of forgot about PSG for a second. That's exactly what happened. Hope you don't feel betrayed anymore.
No, because I agree.
Okay. So she's with me, too.
Yeah, she switched. Remember, last week she
I
said she was
didn't
going for
switch.
Chelsea.
No,
That depends on the day. Real Madrid, PSG.
switched.
Don't ever say that.
No.
Alex, you
No.
said it here because Alex, you said if you can't beat him, join him. That was the whole conversation we had. Let's not
switch.
forget.
I would never switch on PSG. I
No.
just joined.
Let's see. All right.
Arms with
Another
Chelsea.
team in action was Manchester City. Lucrezia has them winning the Premier League, and they did look very good. And Lucrezia, one player we have to talk about. I spoke to him a lot. I mean, I spoke to you about him.
I was like,
a lot.
wow,
I spoke to him
like you.
a lot last season at his former club, AC Milan.
Yeah.
Tejani Reinders, and we said this is such a player to watch in the City. He has come to the Prem, and he looks like he is going to be eating it up.
What class player?
Bro.
Wow. I'm happy because I know you don't watch the Serie A.
You know what I mean? Yes, but...
And he was so... AC Milan, had a very bad season
Yeah.
last season, but he was the one shining light, even over Rafael Leao. He just gave them...
yeah,
he
yeah.
gave them any
best
opportunity.
players.
Any chance came from him. And now at Manchester City, with the caliber of those players, is scary.
I think having him and Haaland in my fantasy team feels like a cheat code.
Yeah.
I don't have Alan for Rangers yet because I knew he was going to perform. As you said, he's just amazing.
I
He
didn't even
looks
take
like
Ryan
he's
Cherokee.
been there.
But then again, does it make sense though, now giving him all this credit just for one game again? Because if we are saying the ones who didn't really perform well, it's just one game, let's say, the one that didn't perform really well, are you going to also, I mean,
For sure.
what if the next game?
What I will say is that I thought he was consistent all last season in the Serie A. Okay, and now you've come to the Prem, and it is one game. Let's see, but he was involved in 3 of the 4 goals.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I
To
mean,
be
that's
fair,
that's
it
next
wasn't
level.
just a one.
But then again, that's against Wolves.
I think-
Listen, these Wolves, a couple of us have them to be relegated.
But I think
Yeah.
there are two sides to this coin. Yes, it was against Wolves. Yes, it was just one game. But on the other side of that coin, like Sara said, involved in 3 of the 4 goals. Let me name some of the other new signings. Esteval, João Pedro, Liam Delap. How many goals were they involved in against Crystal Palace?
Guys, let's
my
talk
God.
about Manchester City.
Yeah, please, yeah. Let's move
You
past
can
that.
only
But then again,
score
no,
and
but
get
then again,
goals
no,
against the team you're playing.
but you've just mentioned it. I give a very typical example, yeah. If this Chelsea, or if this Manchester United faced Wolves, what do you think would have been the result now?
I think if Man United played Wolves, I think they would win.
And Chelsea?
I think they would win. But
Struggling,
I think
maybe?
most teams...
You think they will struggle against
No, I
Wolves?
don't
This
think they would
Chelsea.
struggle.
I was trying to see where he was going.
Okay,
I think I would have confidence in Man United and Chelsea to beat Wolves quite comfortably.
I mean, I think any good top 5
I also look at this Wolves
Premier
side.
League team. I mean, as a matter of fact, Brighton would beat.
I look at this Wolves side, and there's a reason why I put them in my bottom 3.
I put everybody put them in their bottom 3, maybe. I mean, maybe
No,
I
not
did.
everybody.
You
I
did.
think me and Alex had exact
Burnley.
same bottom 3, but I
I
don't
had
remember.
Burnley.
But so meaning
I
you
had
had
Wolves
Wolves.
as well.
I had Wolves.
That's
Him
why.
too.
You had Wolves.
Yeah.
Sarah, did you have Wolves?
No,
No,
because
she-
I have the bees going down. and watch out because they look bad.
I saw a tweet saying someone looked like they'd been managed by Keith Andrews. And well, they hired a set piece coach and they conceded within 5 minutes from a set piece.
Cool.
Brentford.
It's
Back
not
to Man
looking
City,
good.
though. Sorry.
Yeah, back to Man City just quickly.
Listen, I think a lot of players that go to Manchester City, right? I would say more like 90% of the players, they always really do well. So there is nothing like the hits, give them time or whatever. And I think the last time we saw a player signed to Manchester City that didn't perform up to the standard was, I think it was one of the centre backs. This really young guy that in his debut, there was this error.
Kusanov?
Yeah, that's the one. His name is really, really hard for me to pronounce. I can't deny it. And Sara is very good at all of these weird names. Stop it, man.
You can do it.
Stop it, I can't. But you know how long it took me to know how to pronounce Kvaratskhelia? And you want to start with me now with Gushkonov. What is Kusinov?
There you go.
Kusinov.
That was
I
easy.
don't know how to call that. I don't even like the name, to be honest. I don't know what parents think about these days giving names.
I mean...
Well, sorry, it's his surname, right?
Yeah.
Kusinov has to be
Yes.
his surname. Yeah.
All right, anyways.
But anyways, he's the last player we saw with Manchester City that felt like, what did they just sign? Like, this is unlike Manchester City. He's one of those players that you say, okay, give him time. He will get used to it. He was playing out of pressure. He was scared. This was his first game with Manchester City, probably hearing names, the crowd and whatever, because you could see from that debut, even just, he was scared of even see. I'm sure he was praying that they don't even pass him the ball. Because with that kind of pressure, that fear, those mistakes, he shouldn't. And when was it? I don't remember the last time they put him in a game, for him to come start or whatever. So, but Manchester City never get it wrong with their signings. And there's just something about the team, and there's something about, I don't know if there's something Pep Guardiola has done with that team, that anybody comes there, they just look good. I mean, do you know how crazy it is to know that they are so packed with stars that they want to sell Savinho? Do you know how, just think about that stuff. This is a young lad from Brazil. It's not like he's had a bad time in this city. He's been one of the important young lads that has extreme long potentials for that team. And all of a sudden, you have an Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob in that game, by the way.
A youngster to watch, I swear.
No, listen, listen,
signing.
that guy,
No, joke.
It's almost like a new signing, considering how the layoff that he's come off.
I swear I said he
was
was one to
scary.
watch. He's going to be, I think, outrageous for City this year.
listen, there was one point where he had 3 players around him, and he did some kind of gimmicks there, and then he was able to still get the pass across. I was like, what the hell is this young man? Like, now I understood why they want to sell Savinho. Because Savinho is that kind of player too. So you see how much Man City has. Now, when they're dealing with teams, especially facing the Wolves, for me, I'm not really seeing it as, you guys are, I'm waiting for when they start facing, just the same way we saw United facing Arsenal, we saw Liverpool facing the Bournemouth. Of course, Liverpool, they are still miles ahead of Bournemouth, but Bournemouth, giving them a run for their money, scoring 2 goals from behind, and maybe if they were able to manage that game properly, probably would have gone home with a draw, right? They are still at least above average Bournemouth currently. Yeah, they are still a good team, but I just feel like City had it very easy. And I'm not going to say they are the killers or they are going to be extremely until we start seeing maybe next 4, 5, 6 games. We saw Manchester City last season, right? If anybody had told you that what happened, during that first, before they kind of bounced back, would you ever have believed that it would be the Man City that we've known that those things would have been happening to? So maybe this was the first game. They played against a very dead team. As a matter of fact, right now I think Cambridge United playing Wolves. Cambridge might be able to take they might not win, but they will get some kind of results. Maybe.
But there were certainly a lot of good signs that City will compete for the title.
No, definitely no. Facts. I think the title still is between Manchester City, Liverpool, Manchester United, and Chelsea.
Not Arsenal.
I don't listen. Arsenal fans. This season is for me and you people. Yeah, you see all this your pride. I don't know why Gary's not on this show. So that
He's on holiday.
Oh, okay, that's true, man. He went to
we
Rome
can't
to go
have
and
him
pray.
yet.
That's
It will
Arsenal
come
will
back
not
and
disappoint.
convince you that.
But this season, listen, you guys will go on Twitter and you will see Arteta out on, it will be some kind of
I don't think
hashtag.
this is the year where
trending.
he will go out.
Wait, so you mean, okay, Arsenal fans in the
You
comment
think he'll win
section.
the league then?
I don't see them winning the league, but I think he'll go out.
If he
because
doesn't-
I think
if he doesn't
they will
win the
be
league, he's gonna go out.
Above the.
No,
I-
Sarah.
There will be
Sarah,
above
you don't think?
performance that they've given so far for the second place, but I don't think they will be first place because there's so much.
So if they finish second once again,
Without a title?
which I think they will,
No, which I think they won't. I think it's going to be fourth this time around, yeah? But hold on. If they finish, let's say between second and fourth,
Yeah.
yeah? No title. You think Arteta will still stay?
Yeah.
Wait, no, hold on. You think Arsenal fans would still be happy for him to stay?
I think so. Yes.
I
No,
don't
it's like
see
you
a
don't know Arsenal
scenario
fans.
where
No,
Arteta stays if they don't win the Premier League or the Champions League.
I think
Arteta
they will win
stays.
something.
No, I
No.
don't see a scenario.
No,
where
I
he
don't.
stays
I
if
don't
they
see
win
either.
one of
No.
them.
One
See,
of
that's
those
my
two
thing.
exactly.
I don't
No.
think they'll win the title, but I think they will win something. I think they will win, I don't know, FA Cup.
I still think if they win the FA Cup,
Yeah, it's not
I still
enough.
think he goes.
Yeah, if he wins the FA Cup, he still goes. Yes, exactly.
We do have to move along really quickly. A team that maybe looks a little bit better than Arsenal and Manchester United. How about that Tottenham Hotspur? Richarlison, whenever it's the World Cup year, he turns on the lights. Two absolute golazos for the Brazilian. Maybe one of the best goals that we're going to see in the Premier League. That bicycle, the second one. I mean,
Yeah.
the first one was all...
Thomas Frank, didn't he say it was goal of the season?
Yeah.
yeah, I think you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Dream goal, he said.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, and this is typical first game.
Here we go.
Too harshly. I think this Tottenham side, there's a lot to be excited about as a Tottenham fan. I think, yes, disappointing to lose Son, but with the team they've built, the signings they've made, João Paulinho, I think, is a really good signing.
Guti just extended
Kudos.
his...
Yeah.
Ah, Kudus! Ghanaians in the house, man. Let's talk about Kudus. Oh, hey. Listen,
Did you
sorry,
see his
go on.
touch?
I saw.
Listen,
No.
Listen,
That
listen.
control?
Do
Let
it,
me tell
do
you-
it.
He's
Get me the ball. Get me the ball. Get me the ball.
He's
Wait,
taking
somebody
the
get me the
piss.
ball from the back. Let me do it. Let me do it on live TV, man.
Do you know what West Ham fans are calling him?
What?
Judas.
I mean, I would understand, but that was the best move.
Oh,
That-
here we. Oh, you're joking.
have a ball.
You're gonna
Oh God! What now? What? No! Wait! No! That was
your
not.
hand.
No.
wait.
no.
You can't use your hand in football.
Hold on. Wait. Let me. Oh
He has to do it again.
no! Hold on.
No, he has to
Hold
do
on.
it. It came aerial. It
So-
came aerial, and he controlled
Let me-
it like.
Okay. So okay. No. Because I use my. Come on, bring it. Just watch. Hey. Oh no! But you just see that though.
No, but he kept it on the ground.
Oh no! But you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me to put it on the ground.
Did
okay.
you watch the game?
Okay. Hold on. Wait. You didn't tell me to do it like Mohamed Kudus. Wait. Hold on.
No.
So you want me to do it like
No.
Mohamed? You want me to do it like Mohamed? Okay, wait, watch. Hey! No, but did you see that? No, but that was a drop though.
No, that was the
Yeah.
KlintonCod doing a Mohamed Kudus. That wasn't Mohamed Kudus.
Yeah, no, but it's true though.
All
That
right.
was me doing it.
Let's move along. Thank you,
No,
producer.
wait, producer Ben, wait. Come.
Quickly.
Sit down,
While producer Ben is here, we do have to give some love to.
Watch. See,
Sunderland.
just look at this touch though.
No one.
you?
No.
No,
Get out.
I didn't want to do anything. No, I didn't want to do.
Get out.
All right, well, Spurs looking good, as well as Sunderland. The Stadium of Light is the truth. 3-0. My, oh my. It's great to see Sunderland back in the Premier League.
I also have a word. I had a word about people who triple captain Antoine Semenyo. 2 people in the world triple captain Dan Ballard. on Fantasy Premier
Wow.
League.
Who are they? Did you call that?
No,
I'm hearing it's 3.
3 people, and that got them 51 points.
Yeah.
How? Why?
What do you know?
What vision did you have?
Yeah, that's the real juju.
I don't think. I know Sunderland fans will be getting ahead of themselves, but what a first win. But more importantly, I'm worried for West Ham. I think Graham Potter will be the first manager to get sacked.
Lucas Paqueta looking like he's on his way out as well. It's going to be difficult for West Ham.
I give Graham Potter until the end of October.
Who are we all saying is the first manager to get sacked? Graham
Graham
Potter,
Potter.
Nouha?
Oh, me.
Graham Potter
I
or
don't
Keith
know. I
Andrews?
have no one. I'm getting.
You think
You
they're
have to
all...
pick
I
one.
want a calm season.
You have to pick one.
I have to.
Yes.
Emery.
Oh, the first one?
What?
Ruben Amorim?
No, but it is not.
Yeah, I have to go with
Pick
West
another
Ham.
one.
No, West Ham, I think.
West
No,
Ham
I'm not picking
first.
another one.
No, I
That's an
think
easy one
West
for me.
Ham they've really gone so bad. Like it's almost like they they're like the shadows of themselves.
I can't believe I predicted them
I'm sorry.
sixth last season.
That's what I was going to say. You had them as like Champions League contenders, and now here we are. The way a season, like, it's incredible.
No, but then again, you can't really blame him, though, because...
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying, like,
West Ham.
how
What do you
much has
think?
changed
Yeah, no, of
in the
course.
matter of 12 months.
I mean, just imagine United when, we're just some kind of team that maybe there's no money or whatever, right? They probably, West Ham was better than United in terms of the league table, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if not for the fact that United are so equipped that they're able to sign the kind of players we've seen this season, I'm sure people probably would have been saying the same. That, okay, yeah, they just need something fresh entirely. Amorim, get out, or whatever, But this West Ham one is kind of different because, there's no glimpse of hope, if that makes sense. Like, people are not seeing any kind of futuristic plan to say, okay, maybe because of this or because of that, next season this was going to happen. This season, it's very obvious that,
I think when you're starting a midfield pivot with James Ward-Prowse and Guido Rodriguez, there's something to be worried about.
We do have to move along, though, guys. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back because we didn't only just have the Premier League, we had La Liga.
Next contestant, KlintonCod.
Anytime I kiss your face, I smoosh your eyes. It fails on Monday.
Sporty bet. Sporty bet. Liverpool.
Oh, Sporty bet.
What are your friends?
Don't worry, the big boys are coming. I will stay loyal to you as I am to SportyBet. I will keep you safe and secure like Sporty does my winnings. I will share my booking codes with you and only you. I will... yes, I will be your hero, your true Sporty hero.
Welcome back to the Sporty Show. A friendly reminder, in just about 25 minutes, we do have the DFB Pokal coming up with SN taking on Borussia Dortmund. But until then, let's talk La Liga. Barcelona in action over the weekend, beating Mallorca. But, Alex, we have a lot to talk about with the refereeing here because my oh my La Liga is showing that maybe once again we're going to have a season where we're going to have some poor officiating.
Yeah, I mean, on topic today, Xabi Alonso was asked about this, if he saw the incidents at the weekend. And I think when you look at the quality of officiating, I think last season the Premier League got criticised a lot. I think La Liga did as well. But especially when you look at Rafinha's tackle and going in two-footed like that, how reckless he was and not getting sent off. For me, it beggars belief how you can't give that a red card, even with VAR. Without VAR, you should be seeing that immediately and giving that a red. If you look at VAR and you still don't give it a red, I think is balmy. I know Arrasate had some things to say about some of the other decisions, the double yellow. I feel like when you have a league with so many good players in it, you talk about Real Madrid, Barcelona, two of the biggest teams in world football, Atletico Madrid with some fantastic players, Julian Alvarez, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Mbappe. And then you have the level of officiating that you do in La Liga. it's just it's a sour taste. It leaves a sour taste in your mouth.
I think so.
It makes the league look like a joke.
Yeah, I think so as well, especially being the first game back. Like you mentioned, Morlanes' second yellow picked up early and just 30 minutes in or so. And right after that, Muriqi with his, of course, very dangerous, very obvious red card. But I think the ref knew that at that moment he had completely altered the game because he had already given a double yellow, meaning a red card, and, of course, another red card to Mallorca. And at this point, the match was just completely altered. So unfortunate for Mallorca, and Rafinha did deserve a red card. And I think this is hopefully something we aren't going to be speaking about week in and week out in La Liga because it is exhausting. It's frustrating for the teams, for the players, like Alex mentioned. And it's one of the best leagues in world football. So why isn't the level of refereeing up there? But in the end, it was 3 points for Barcelona. KlintonCod, he does it again.
Yeah. No, you always know if I watch a Barcelona game now, there are a couple of players I always want to look forward to. But I didn't really watch so much on this game. I heard a couple of stuffs. I had to go check, and that Rafinha one. I know Sara doesn't like me speaking about Rafinha, but I think it's just added to one of the reasons why.
I don't mind.
Yeah, but no, listen, it was a win for them, very expected. Barcelona, I don't think anybody would expect Barcelona not to win that game. But obviously, what happened that, the situations, the stuff that were meant to be read that it wasn't given or whatever it was. Listen, Sara, I don't really care too much. What I care about is what's happening tomorrow, and it's Real Madrid. I don't want to speak about Barcelona.
We're not talking about Madrid today, my friend.
No, let's try to speak a bit, man.
No, we don't have time.
Plenty of time tomorrow.
Sara, I do have a question for you. Because I watched the game, and one thing that I, as a French person, found very weird, and maybe you'll call me out on that one. Why did Eric Garcia play instead of Jules Koundé?
Because Jules Koundé had a horrible game at the Joan Gamper. I think Hansi Flick is trying to manage minutes because they're obviously a team competing in 3 competitions. Jules Koundé played the most football in the last calendar year out of any footballer across the entire world. And the game against in the Joan Gamper Trophy, he looked off. So I think it's about managing minutes right now. But honestly, Eric Garcia has stepped in and he played really well. And I'm okay with that because against a team like a Mallorca, where Barcelona should be winning, don't waste Jules Koundé. Get him a few minutes. He got in some 20 minutes or so. That's fine with me. He's too important of a player. And I think Hansi Flick knows that it's going to be a long season. I think it just comes down to that. It's tired.
Yeah.
I think as well, worth for any avoidance of doubt, if Mallorca didn't have the 2 players sent off, I don't think they were going to win anyway.
Yeah. No. I don't think they would have either, but they definitely put up a really good fight. I think maybe more than some people were expecting. I mean, it's the first game of the season. It's the Saint Mosh. We know this. So I think it was, if I was a Mallorca fan, I would feel upset. I mean, the Muriqi red was for sure. Yeah. But of course, what would have happened if Rafinha got that deserved red? There's obviously the what if, but I do agree with you. I think Barcelona had too much. And of course, we saw Lamine Yamal doing what he did, absolutely sending Mojica into, I don't know if you saw the nutmeg, but filthy. You go look and then you will have a moment to yourself where you just...
It would have been a better game if the
that's how I felt. That's also how I felt as well. I think just as a viewer, as a fan, you were robbed of a better football match. Right. So
that poor kid. I don't know if you saw the picture of the kid crying. I
saw a tweet from a Barcelona fan page saying, "Sorry, bro."
I felt sorry for him.
Not really. Football. I mean, come on. It's the hope that kills us.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm Mallorca fans, but what were they expecting, though, the result to be? I mean, I know everybody would expect to get a win, but...
Result,
no, actually, it's about the result, right?
Fair fight. But with fair fight, you don't know what would have happened if Rafinha got sent off.
You want your
what I'm saying... I get it.
Same level, with the same means.
No, Lucrezia, I understand that. What I was saying is, if we didn't know what was going to happen in that game right now, and they said, all 5 of us, just put a bet. You're giving $100,000 each. Just put a bet on one team who wins. I'm sure everybody from Barcelona.
It's not that though. But if you're a Mallorca fan, you go into the game.
So a Mallorca fan. So right now, the only person who has the right to come speak to me here right now is Guillaume.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think as a Mallorca fan, I obviously can't speak on behalf of them, but I would like to think that feeling of when you play a team that's much better than you, you know you're going to lose. But there's a little part of you that thinks, what if?
I feel like getting Guillaume to come sit here now. I want to give him my mic.
But you know what?
He didn't watch the game.
It's not even about the
I was texting him.
Really?
Sorry, sorry.
It's not even about the what ifs. It's about La Liga in general. This isn't just about Barcelona versus Mallorca. This is about La Liga having these constant problems of referees. And today, this weekend it was Barcelona versus Mallorca, but tomorrow it may be Real Madrid versus Osasuna. Would you like that?
I feel like this refereeing thing, is going to be like corruption in countries when it comes to, governments and stuff. It will never change, right? The only thing we'll continue praying for is to not see these kind of obvious mistakes and all of this stuff. But every single league, there's always going to be a problem, right? I mean, for example, look at, we were speaking about England how many minutes ago with Crystal Palace and that, Chelsea issue. A lot of people felt like, that should be given us a goal. Yeah. But I don't know. I just feel, there's Mallorca fans. Sorry, man. It didn't go your way. It didn't go your way.
Well, it also didn't go Diego Simeone's way. Atletico Madrid lose their opening match for the first time since 2009 against Espanyol, a team that fought to stay out of relegation last season, all thanks to Mia. But Julian Alvarez did what Julian Alvarez does and was absolutely fantastic. But I'll come to you, Alex, because I know last week you said, it's time. Simeone's got to go. I'm back to you. Losing the opening game against Espanyol, no less.
Crazy, though.
Still time.
It's still time.
I mean, I look at the performance from Atleti yesterday. Where do I start? I think, yes, some of the new signings played well. Thought we saw a lot of promising signs from the new lads. But again, the same story. I know Atleti realistically won't be winning the title, but they come into a season, they have aspirations of winning the title. They have to, otherwise what's the point of being there?
Like every year.
They cannot be losing like they did to Espanyol. The goals they conceded as well. Yes, the header, I think, you probably could give some credit to that. I think Oblak would have done very well to save that. But the first goal, it just feels like the same old story. It feels like they haven't hit the reset button from last season. You look at the way that they finished. You look at the way that they played against, I think it was Seattle in the last game, where they needed, or was it Botafogo? Basically the game where they needed to score 3. And it looked like job done when they were 1-0 up. And they thought, yeah, this is it. This is all we need to do. And, well, I think this is about maybe the only real positive thing to come out of the game is Julian Alvarez's free kick. One of the best goals I've seen. He did it last season multiple times. And I think we were talking about this earlier. It begs the question, how much longer is Julian Alvarez going to be in an Atletico Madrid shirt?
I really feel so angry with the La Liga, though, as a whole. See, and this is the main reason why, a lot of these games, I don't really rate them as such. It's only because, when you always know what the result is going to be by the end of the season, it just demotivates you to want to really follow the league, judiciously, or the same way we follow the Premier League. Come on.
It's given Farmers League, right?
Just literally 3 teams. Okay, it's not as bad as the Farmers League.
That's ridiculous to say.
The three
it's always going
teams
to be
every year.
It's going to be the
At
same
least
3.
there's 3 versus 1.
What? No, true. I mean, the La Liga is still better than the French league because the French league is
La
always
Liga
going to be the
also
same.
in the 2010s was the best league for me, and in the 2000s it was Serie A. I think the Prem right now is absolutely without a doubt, but the Prem did a little bit of a dip in the early 2010s. And if you remember the early 2000s, Serie A was, even the late 90s, Serie A was incredible. But that's the thing, we can never say that about the French league was never at one time the best.
No, of course.
Serie A, also if you look at who's won the Champions League in the last, 10 seasons, thanks to Real Madrid, more or less, but still.
No, I know, but listen, if we go deep into all the teams you're mentioning that maybe have brought out this league in this really proper limelight, you will see that these are teams where there is proper investment. They are paying heavily for players. And when you look at look at the La Liga, for example, without anybody saying too much, we know what the end is. For me, this is what I don't like. We were speaking about the Premier League. How many
minutes? Go to all the Real Madrid home games this season, my friend.
No, I know. But that's the
Get
thing.
excited.
No, of course I am excited. It's not like I'm not excited, but just knowing that at the end of the season, it's still going to be Real Madrid or Barcelona, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then the one who has just lost his first game. But mind you, even with this loss, they're still going to contend at the end of the season. And then Athletic Bilbao, then
I don't know if Athletic Bilbao are going to do it, by the way. They look very poor, even though they beat Sevilla, who, by the way, you had going down.
I had Sevilla going down.
I don't know, man. Sevilla had like
We'll
7
see.
players
I
that
don't know.
weren't registered, and they fought Athletic Bilbao tooth and nail, and I thought they were brilliant. Athletic Bilbao look poor. I don't have any faith. I don't think they're going to finish 4th if they play like this. I mean, I think I see them for sure. Yeah, farther down, maybe not 7th, but yeah,
see them
further down
still
the
in
line.
Europe?
I don't know. Sevilla gave me some hope when I was watching the game.
Let's hope for them that they stay up.
Over the weekend. But we're running out of time here, Alex. Let's look at your top 5 La Liga goals of the weekend.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Number 5, and I don't have my computer in front of me, so I'm going to have to be reminded of the list. But I can tell you, I think we've already seen number 1 on the screen for the last 5 minutes. Actually.
Cheers.
Spoiler alert.
So number 1.
No, actually, I think that was number 2.
Okay.
So if we
I
could
know
get-
who your number 1 is.
If we could get number 5 at some point, I'll just wait.
No, I really want to see this number 5 because you know the problem. Okay, it's here.
I don't think this is number
No.
Not this one.
It's still.
Okay, no, because
Here we
okay,
go.
there we
Number 5.
Ferrer.
Ferran Torres against Mallorca. I was doubting to put it in because play kind of stopped. Obviously, the referee hadn't blown his whistle, but it was
No,
a nice
but that
finish.
was a beautiful goal though. Can't lie.
Nice finish over the keeper. As they always say, play to the whistle. So that is my 5th goal, my 5th best goal of the match week. My 4th best goal, not this one, this is still number 5,
Here it is.
is Takefusa Kubo against Valencia for Real Sociedad, who I think we're all a little bit worried for.
Nah,
beginning
that's
of the
an average
season.
goal. That's the kind of goal Mo Salah will score. And you guys will be like, yeah, Mo Salah is there. Yeah. Come on, man. That's just an average goal.
So that is Takefusa Kubo against Valencia for my 4th goal, or my 4th best goal of the match week. My 3rd best goal is from the same game, Lamine Yamal against Mallorca, the winner, well, the 3rd goal, if you will, in the 94th minute. He scored many a goal like that. I don't think it was the best one that he scored like that, but it was still a cracking goal.
Let me just, I know I'm not going to waste your time. You know I would always comment on these goals, right? But I feel like, you know, if this was another player that scored this, I would be like, man, this is excellent. But we're so used to seeing this with Lamine Yamal.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Yeah, but that's such a
special
shame
anymore.
that because he's so good and so
No,
out of
of
this
course.
level that you're grading it lower.
No, it's not grading lower. For me, this is even a compliment. Because now what you've done is,
He's normalized scoring.
he's
these
normalized
goals.
scoring screamers. Does that make sense? So now,
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, Lamine Yamal now has to step up even higher for me to be like, oh my God, this goal is crazy. Like, come
Context
on.
to this
Lamine Yamal
goal
has
really
given us-
quickly is that the Mallorca fans started booing him in the last 10 minutes of the game, and then he did this
Yeah.
with the crown on.
I mean, it was a fantastic goal. There's no, you can't take anything away from Lamine Yamal. And my 2nd best goal of the week we've seen for the last 5 minutes is from Julian Alvarez. A lovely free kick. We saw him do it last season, as I said, a few times. A cracking goal. I think when you look at what he can do and what he brings to this Atleti team.
There's nothing as beautiful as scoring this kind of goal and winning the game, right? Scoring this goal and losing the game to Arsenal Sassuolo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was shameful.
Takes a lot away
If I was him, I would just go home and cry.
And my goal of the match week,
I can't wait to see this one.
Luka Bacchio.
Dodi Luka Bacchio
Wow.
from Sevilla against Athletic Club. A fantastic goal. Clinton, if you don't like this one, I don't know what you will. You've got to say that's the best goal of those 5.
But you see, because of the player, I think that was an excellent goal, right? But this is what we see with Lamine Yamal week in, week out. I don't know if you
But
understand what I'm trying to say, though.
to be fair to Dodi Luka Bacchio, I think he got in my top 5 a few times last season. I remember his goal against Rayo Vallecano.
No, but that was a beautiful goal. Can't
This
lie.
one,
No, that was beautiful. That was well caught as well. No, that's nice.
so there you go.
Some
That is-
screamers in La Liga this weekend. Hey.
yeah, that is my top 5 goals of the week.
Well, Clinton, you are going to be at the Bernabeu tomorrow, where maybe there will be a couple more screamers. Real Madrid taking on Osasuna
so.
at 9 p.m. Excited? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am very excited. I mean, I think there's nobody who would have plans to go to the Bernabeu that would not be excited. I think, especially for the start of the season as well, with the new signings as well, we want to see how this Real Madrid. Of course, we would always say this is the first game. You know, you don't know what could happen, even if it goes bad. Like, you know, you can also say they'll still. You will give Real Madrid the benefit.
I was
of the
at
doubt,
training
right?
today,
Yeah.
Real Madrid training, and I was stood there watching because you go and you get used to seeing the players train. I'm very lucky to see the players train. And I had a moment of realisation. I was like, oh, Trent. Like seeing Trent in a Real Madrid shirt, getting used to seeing him. Yeah, it's an exciting time.
I think this is the time, or maybe this first half season, I think this is when I'll be able to place my judgment properly on Alessandro. I'm sorry, Trent. Let me just call him. Because, if I call him Alexander, you guys were accusing
I think he prefers Trent as well.
Trent, okay, fair enough. I've always had my sentiments about him and how I believe he's going to struggle with this Real Madrid. I always feel like he's too slow for the pace that we see with other teams running past defenders in this LaLiga. But I'm just hoping that what's happened with Real Madrid last season is not going to happen this time around. I'm hoping that they do win the league. I'm hoping that even if Barcelona does win Real Madrid at any point clash, it shouldn't be more than once. Let it not be that whole 4 times that it got battered by Barcelona. I think that's something most Real Madrid fans will never forget, including myself. I think that was a very, really poor season. Of course, second in the La Liga, but it was still seen as a really bad one for Real Madrid. So this time around, I just hope that the first game especially is going to be a really exciting one. I want to see Kylian Mbappe on the score sheet. If Gonzalo Garcia does come into the game, I think he's the one player for that Real Madrid who has now something to prove, because when you look at the person above him, there is no way, no matter how good you want to be, you would also continue being that supporting player for that Kylian Mbappe. I want to see Vinicius a whole different person. Arda Güler is literally that center, that heartbeat that I believe, and I'm hoping that with this introduction of Xabi Alonso, he's going to be I think some positive side of Arda Güler and Real Madrid is the fact that he's feeling more positive, especially with Xabi Alonso. According to him, he didn't feel the same way when they had
Ancelotti.
Yeah, Ancelotti. So there's so many promising talents in this Real Madrid team. I'm hoping that they actually do come together under this Xabi Alonso and they're able to give up that performance that we see with the likes of the Barcelonas and even the English, couple of them. Can't wait for the first game tomorrow.
Can we get a starting lineup?
Starting lineup for me, obviously, I'll still go with the normal front 3. Maybe not. Yeah. No. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Front 3. Hold on. Front 3. Maybe not front 3, but this. I think I feel really, really sad for what's happening with Rodrigo. I don't know. Did you see him in training today?
Well, I was just about to say on that, I would put good money on Brahim Diaz starting tomorrow.
I think there's a high chance. I believe he's going to start. And this is the reason why I feel really, really... because I know how talented Rodrigo is. Rodrigo is...
Clinton, you got 30 seconds.
Sorry. Sorry? What do you want?
Give your starting 11.
Starting 11, okay. Kylian Mbappe, Brahim Diaz, Vinicius Jr. I don't know what's happening with Valverde. Is Valverde still there?
Yes.
Hopefully he just come in. No, because I've not heard so much about Valverde.
The main misses are Endrick, Ferland Mendy, Bellingham and Camavinga.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So,
and Rudiger.
So midfield, Valverde, Arda Güler,
yes.
Ceballos.
Yeah.
I'm not too... Ceballos, when he wants to play, he's quite good, but...
Camavinga's
No. Chouamani's fit.
Chouamani.
Chouamani is fit.
Yeah, Camavinga's out.
I would put Chouamani and Ceballos.
But from what if I was to predict, I think Alvaro Carreras will start. Right back Trent, centre backs Militao and Dean Howson.
All right, well, we'll find out tomorrow, and Clinton, you'll be there. Guys, coming up right after the show, as I mentioned, DFB Pokal SN taking on Borussia Dortmund, and later on, Leeds and Everton, Elche and Betis. So tomorrow we'll be back looking at those games, and of course Real Madrid against Osasuna right here in Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. KlintonCod will be there. So a lot to talk about tomorrow. A pleasure as always. We'll see you then, same time, same place. But until then, as always, enjoy the football.
Mbappe, Vini, Brahim. 3 goals each. Boom.